opportunity, Cloud9 are ready to continue picking on this Shadow Fiend.
I mean, if it's a 1v1, just a Viper versus the SF, the Viper can easily kill him with his advantage here. Because the only thing that Swindle can throw... Ooh, the charge comes through.
There we go. Viper strike will be held once more. They bait out the LSA. Now the Wisp rotates in, tethers up to Swindle, and C9 will be happy just to bait a reaction out of out of Complexity and make a little more space for Envy and Misery in that safe lane, as now Sven's left all alone.
Yeah, no kidding. So many heroes mid going on. I feel like a sentry would be really helpful here, because a lot of the time Shadow Fiend's pretty far back. If you can prevent the initial charge, sometimes that'll be enough time to stay alive. He also pulls up a medium camp here, a nice little soul boost when he's got almost nothing, so that'll be pretty cool. But he really needs more raise levels, honestly. That's his main defense against the Viper.
Charge again, on to Swindle Melons. Big Daddy on his way in, finds Z-Freak, and will retreat, but man.
Nicely done. He's just doing that to mess with them, basically. He forces the Shadow Fiend to come back and think, oh, we got a Hex going on?
Yeah.
Oh, no death there. Oh, they might actually chase this.
Warcry's pop. Sven just shy of level 6, though. And he may want to wait until he gets that God Strength before they commit to the fight. There is a charge on the way in. Nice stun from Misery to get things started. Sven gets blown up. Now Fly falls as well. Beautiful ult from Bone 7.
What a
great
bait.
rotation as well. Yeah, bait indeed. Also with a double damage rune on. Things looking pretty good for Cloud9 in just the first couple minutes of gameplay here, Purge.
I thought Misery was dead for sure there. That was
Mid,
really great
Wisp,
play.
getting dove, but... I mean, Fata's showing his power here. That's a 2v1, and just look how weak Swindle and Z-Freak are against just the lone Viper.
It's really hard to kill him when he has this HP advantage, and Wisp is almost all magic, and Shadow Fiend is very largely magic in this early game, so if he can't land the triple raise, it's very tough to get kills, and once he gets slowed, man, Viper just kind of does whatever he wants. So this is really showing the strength of Viper, in my opinion. But, he's pretty moderately getting out last hit, but obviously he has been worried about the Spirit Breaker this whole time and didn't really have a support to cover him for a couple levels. So.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend starting to recover a little bit, though. They did stack up this hard camp. Just a double stack, but he was able to clear it out. Now a smoke rotation from Fly and Ziz. Sven has secured level 6, so God's Strength ready to rock and roll. They want vengeance on Fata, and they'll try to rotate here. It's a 4-on-1 gyrocopter in the neighborhood. Here we go. Warcry, God's Strength used. There's your Stormbolt, and, well, Fata's dead. It takes 4 of them, but they do find the kill.
That kill's completely worth it. And they have God Strength now, so they can hit the tower for way more damage. He could even overcharge this if needed. Only 1 point in Great Cleave, but bam, Dragon Slave and the creep wave's gone. They're going to have to solve this up. The TPs are coming. That's going to be Line actually running into it. Great stun, catches 2. No other stuns. Call Down's going to catch a couple, but they will be able to heal back up, and Ziz should be just fine here.
Decent defense, though. They popped their Glyph Tower only at half health. Pretty minor rotation for Cloud9, and it completely repels Complexity. Thought they may rotate onto Bone 7, and looks like they could still head down that way. Maybe they'll just do the rotation and put Ziz in the safe lane now and let Moon move to the off lane. Centaur had a pretty good time, almost level 8, still pretty far off his Blink Dagger. But here we go. They bump into Bone 7. They hit him with the Stormbolt, but they don't have the damage to finish him off. Stampede is deployed, but does not achieve much.
Yeah, that was really well played by Bone 7. He's like, there's a chance that they're rotating on me right now, so...
Oh, here we go. Is it enough damage?
The stun, you can blink dodge it now. You used to not be able to do that, so slight change, and Sven's stun not going to hit.
Close call for Bone 7, but he will make it out.
Just really well done by him. He read that game completely. He said they could definitely rotate from mid, go check the side jungle, and because he did that rather than sit in lane, it guaranteed that the double stun wasn't there and he doesn't get killed. So that was a great read from Bone 7.
Now smoke rotation from Cloud9. TP in pops from the Quap.
They saw it.
And that's unfortunate. Right on the edge of it. Bone 7 will lose his as well, and it looks like Complexity will be able to dodge this gank. Right now, though, Cloud9 just soaking up the farm. You've got Fata free farming mid, pushing the tower, and Big Daddy getting some solo time in the top lane. Now finds level 6. Nether Strike at the ready as he TPs back to regen up.
Fly does the bottle crow. Fly's pretty farmed. Arcane Boots here. They're looking to turn things around. They could initiate on Gyro. They don't have Centaur ult, though. Here comes. There's the first stun.
Call down.
Second stun, double edge.
Queued up, though. It's going to connect on quite a few. Envy falls, but Misery gets a stun on, too, as well as the finger. They make it a 1-for-1, and can they get some more? Charge onto Ziz, but Big Daddy's still pretty far away. Queen of Pain on her way to cut him off. She's got a Sonic Wave to boot. They're all rather healthy, but still a numbers advantage for Cloud9 if they all converge. Looks like the charge will be canceled, and everybody will just retreat after the 1-for-1.
Completely worth it there. They killed Envy first. Centaur died afterwards, but they're going to be happy with that for sure. limiting Gyro's farming quite big ways, actually. He's got 3 assists here, but his CS is far lower than it normally is. Looking for the stun on Fada, throws the stun, Fly with the follow-up. They've got Light Striker away. Big Quaffle catching
what a
3.
sonic
Fada's
wave.
low. He goes down. Now chasing after Fly. Great ult from Centaur as well. They should be able... No, the great ulti from Spirit Breaker, but Swindle Mountains is here. First race, second race, he still goes down. And a double kill for C9.
Yeah, absolutely worth it for them this go around. They do lose their Viper, but getting to an exchange pretty solid. And again, they've got Envy just farming away up here in their safe lane. Centaur still trying to get to that Blink Dagger. This is a great time to try and pick on him. He doesn't have a Stampede, still sitting on a lot of unreliable gold, and C9 are privy to it. They'll rotate down, and there is no way Moon's surviving this one. It's a 3-on-1. He'll get hexed up and finished off by Big Daddy No-Tail. Nice gank there from Cloud9.
No-Tail's gotten so many levels here. I know it's 11 minutes and all, but for just more or less just a roaming hero, he's been a part in 5 kills. He's got the quick level 7. He's got the big stun duration. I like the Charge of Darkness max this game. It's so important against stun heroes and other heroes that are against a Wisp as well. You just don't want to chance them being able to move or cast their spells. The stun duration's huge.
What's really impressive about his level 7 is that Misery's level 8. So
yeah.
Actually, the Gyrocopter and the Spirit Breaker are the lowest level on the side of Cloud9. You look at Complexity, and Z-Freak isn't even level 6 yet on the Wisp at the very beginning of 5.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. Obviously, it would increase their gank opportunities, but he's been doing pretty well. He's been a part of 5 kills. They're going to find Misery here. First one, Misery, rare mistake here. Yeah. Almost always reacts in time, but that one just a bit too late. If he would have landed that Earth Spike, he would have almost for sure lived. So, but that was a hard reaction time, honestly. The fact that he didn't is like, wow, he is human. Cool.
And it's hard with Warcry as well. It gives you that extra little movement speed that kind of plays with your normal reaction time in a scenario like that. So now Bone heads mid. Looks like he'll just go for Power Treads, Yule Scepter here on the Queen of Pain. Not too surprising. Nice reset tool to buy yourself a little bit of time and also set up for your team. I think fairly common on Quap, who is not in the mid or safe lane role.
Yeah. It's a bit interesting watching Ziz play Sven because they've been doing it in such a gank way. A lot of Svens in the past will go for pretty early Great Cleave max, but he's all about Warcry and the stun damage on Stormhammer, which gank
up top. Yeah, call down connects on Moon as well as Fly. Eternal Envy falls to Laguna Blade, but finger back the other way makes it a 1-for-1. Good exchange for Complexity so far, as now it's Cloud9 on the back foot. Stampede deployed by Moon Meander. Misery caught by the Stormbolt. He'll be locked into place and brought down. Complexity finding the advantage in this go-around.
Man, they're properly punishing C9 there, and Eternal Envy getting completely solo killed by the support. Like, that can't happen for C9, because it's just going to turn Lina into a core.
Oh, Moon uses the hoof stop to try and make it out. Bone 7 has the ulti, does the mental math, and decides, nope, not worth that long cooldown here. Great news for Moon, though. He's the big breadwinner out of that fight. 1,600 gold now, getting very close to that Blink Dagger.
And once he grabs that, the ganks that they've already been scraping by completely reasonably are going to be even more dangerous. And even heroes like Quap are going to actually really have to worry about whether or not they die. Because the stun setup is so there for Complexity, and they're making space for Shadow Fiend as well. He's the top CS now. Can you believe that? And that's the strength of the hero. You get wrecked in your lane, you go into the jungle, you get some last hits, and all of a sudden you catch up and farm. And
that's incredible, actually. Not only did he not farm well in mid, but he was also shut down. He was killed multiple times, and here he's on his way to, well, I wanted to say decently timed Mac. I guess all things considered, it'll be decently timed. Has the Buckler, still a ways off completing the rest of it. Viper, does he have a recipe on the Courier? Yep, he sure does. That's a completed mechanism.
So he's like a good 1,500 gold ahead of Shadow Fiend in terms of his items, so a bit of advantage there. And they've got the mech now, so they need to take a fight. But now things get a little tough because Complexity, tracking their movements is harder because they've got relocate. So no matter where the Sven and the Wisp are, you always have to worry about them showing up somewhere else. It could just be a simple 2-man rotation from Complexity, and all of a sudden it turns into a 4-man rotation. So it's harder to track their movements at this point, and it's going to be up to them to initiate instead, and that's what they're going to try here.
Yule Scepter now up on the Queen of Pain, and Eternal Envy still not too much in his inventory. Just sitting on Power Treads, Aquila Wand.
Ooh, they spot the retreat with the Observer Ward, so it seems clear that they got spotted. I like the wards from C9 here. Very, very deep. They'll see where Shadow Fiend is, if he's farming, all that good stuff.
Yeah, things slowing down a little bit here. A little surprised to see Cloud9 not just 5-manning around this mech while they have the advantage, knowing the Shadow Fiend's a little bit behind. I guess they don't really need it to push this bottom tier 1 tower. As you mentioned, they saw the retreat, so they'll feel pretty comfortable. And well, they really do have a lot of deep wards down, even on the plateau here, if you look at all the dire vision.
Took them 2 centuries, but they did find the Observer Ward from Complexity. It was a bit of an older one, so not a huge loss. And Complexity is able to take a tier 1 top, which is very good for them. Shadow Fiend is almost at his mech now. We do see a charge, though.
Charge coming
On Wisp.
onto Wisp. There he is.
Pretty
Z-Freak
solo.
in the jungle, and
That's
there's
a
going to be
big
some follow-up from Bone 7. Yep, Wisp just evaporates.
Yeah, and that Observer Ward completely paying off there. If it's on anybody else first, Wisp can heal and try to keep them alive, but it's on Wisp. If it's on Wisp first, then the burst damage is there, and there's no way he can survive. So very tough at this stage to survive the initiation from them. They might initiate.
Oh, another double damage here on Bone 7. He's been pretty lucky with those, but they
Oh,
jump
great
right
heals.
onto Fata. Can
He
they
gets the mech
actually
up.
save him? Oh, the mech still goes off. They burned everything to bring down Fata. They get the kill, but do they have the resources left to continue this fight? In comes Big Daddy charging from down below. Bone 7 trying to do what damage he can. Swindle will pump fake the ulti. But in the end, Complexity will retreat and reset things a little bit here. They'll mech up as now Z-Freak joins the party. They want to keep this siege going and at the very least secure a Tier 1 tower.
They know that they're all in the trees. The Observer Ward spotted them rotate over.
Here
War
we
cries
go.
up, call down.
Call down comes in. Swindlemelon's getting aggressive here. Moon bleeds forward, goes in onto Misery. They'll hit him with the double edge, and the Requiem finishes him off. They'll try to focus Z-Freak, but they just don't have the damage. They turn on Envy. Now Big Daddy as well. It's a bloodbath with Complexity coming out big, a 1 for 4 as they secure the Tier 1 tower to boot.
Queen of Pain was able to clean up on the other side, but it's unlikely that Centaur will be able to catch him. But they're super happy with that fight, getting so many kills. They got the tower afterwards. They lost the Wisp again, but it's not that big of a deal. He doesn't have boots yet, but he can get by with that. He's already got Wand, Urn, and the bottle, the 3 items that he needs to regen himself and to regen his cores as well. So absolutely great trade for Complexity there, and they are totally in this game and playing better than C9 in my opinion.
Yeah. It seems like it so far. Just the recovery from Swindle that we've already mentioned a couple times just speaks to how Complexity has handled themselves under the pressure and now turned things around. Look at Eternal Envy's net worth right now. He's the lowest of the cores and actually behind the Radiant support in that of the Lina, played by Fly. He is so broke at the moment, very atypical of where you would expect Envy's gyrocopter to be 16 minutes in. Still just power treads Aquila.
But that was the aggressive trialing, and Complexity has enough burst damage and enough stuns that if he does get out of position, he just simply dies. And it's a bit different than a lot of the other drafts we've been seeing, because we've been seeing Dazzles and so many Dazzles, and the team fights are always like, keep one person alive. And Wisp does accomplish that, but he's also very offensive, and a lot more offensive than Dazzle is. So it's kind of an interesting way to play Complexity, turning things back onto the old meta a little. It's like, oh yeah, Wisp is still good. Maybe we should draft that.
Yeah.
And they're making it work.
And picking it up early, no less. This wasn't one of those 4th pick, 5th pick Wisps where Cloud9 didn't have a chance to react. This was in that early phase. Cloud9 could have gone for, something like the Disruptor or some of those other classic Wisp counters, and they chose to try and take this straight up. Now the Sven, it's getting a little bit scary here, Purge. He'll take out a stack of Ancients. He's got his Mask of Madness, only 1 point in Great Cleave, but BKB is on the horizon now, just a recipe away.
That skill is actually pretty amazing with 1 skill point. I mean, it's only 20%, but a second is equivalent to a Battle Fury. And as you get up to the 4th level, 65%, that's just amazing AoE damage coming against the opponents, and will be very useful against heroes like Viper. And there it is, Warcry's now maxed out, so 20 armor to his team, 4-8 seconds on a 14-second cooldown, and a Yasha for everybody. So the movement speed advantage here is just going to make these supports really hard to kill. Wisp, 2 armor. Lina, 4 armor. How about 24 and 22? How do you kill that? It's pretty much limited to magic, which C9 has, but their right clicks are going to do so much less in these fights.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Moon Meander here in the top lane, just stationed in the trees for now, knows that there could be some trickery afoot. Yeah, here we go. He misses it. They relocate in as well, but Bone 7, he's on the run. He's got a haste rune that he was storing in the bottle. Looks like Complexity might not have double-checked what was in that inventory before committing to that one.
I mean, it looked like such a reliable gank there for Complexity. The Moon was waiting in the trees. He said, all right, anybody comes top, I blink stun. Fight going on mid.
Oh, here we go. Bone 7 goes in, but it's Swindlemelons that gets initiated on. What a terrible time for a DC. Oh, no. Looks like Z-Freak's having some PC issues. That is really unfortunate.
So the stun was Yule's dodged by Queen of Pain, but that actually might be a big hurt there. That's 175 mana to dodge that stun. He's only got 336 right now.
Yeah, you can't.